Documenting the program logic. What is program logic, and how do we document it? Program logic refers to the process underlying a course of action. An effective way of documenting or communicating a program logic is through a diagram, which explains the purposes and processes of a course of action or program, that is, an initiative. There are a number of different words used to describe program logics and how they are documented. The vocabulary can be very confusing as it varies depending on the field people are working in. But they all essentially describe the same thing. The terms we will use here are initiative and program logic. The initiative
is an activity to cause change, such as a training program to reduce domestic and family violence.
and program logic refers to a map or diagram of your initiative. Program logics demonstrate how an initiative, a project, a program, a policy, a strategy, an intervention, is understood to contribute to a chain of actions that produce the intended or actual outcomes and impacts. Why is it done? Program logics can be used to provide a conceptual framework for monitoring activities and progress, for evaluation, or for an integrated monitoring and evaluation framework. A program logic includes an analysis of what is necessary to get the project up and running, and also provides an opportunity to help develop indicators used to monitor the progress of the project towards anticipated goals and outcomes. Developing a program logic is a very useful way of bringing together existing evidence about a program and clarifying where there is agreement and disagreement about how the program is understood to work and where there are gaps in the evidence on which the program is based. How is it represented? Different types of diagrams can be used to represent a program logic. These are often referred to as logic models, as they show the overall logic of how the intervention is understood to work. This diagram will include three sections: the resources required to undertake the initiative, or inputs, the activities your initiative will involve and their outputs, and the expected results, or outcomes. This model links outcomes, medium and long term, with inputs and outputs, and the theoretical assumptions underlying the program. This model provides a planning framework, highlighting how the program is expected to develop and in what order to stage outputs. It also looks at how desired outcomes are achieved. As you will note on this model here, the passage of time is arranged vertically, and within this are a series of streams. Following each stream, from input to how it will ultimately contribute to the end goal of the initiative, is a great way of understanding how each of the pieces fit together. How does a program logic help in evaluation? It can be used for a single evaluation, for planning a cluster evaluation of different projects funded under a single program, or to bring together evidence from multiple evaluations and research. Undertaking an evaluation is made significantly easier when the initiative has been thoughtfully designed. Logic models can help improve initiative design so that evaluation is then more useful and effective. Logic models can help determine what data will be useful and when data collection is most timely. Undertaking an evaluation of programs that are not ready to be evaluated is unlikely to produce useful information. To organize an evaluation that will reasonably test the program theory, you need a clear idea of the theoretical thinking underlying the initiative. A logic model encourages that thinking process to be undertaken. Program logic terminology. Inputs: financial and human resources used to undertake activities which are expected to produce outputs. Outputs: a defined quantity of things, events, and services provided by the program. This includes activities. Outcomes: changes that are expected to occur after the delivery of an output or several outputs. Outcomes can be broken down into short, medium, and long term. Impact: change in context as a result of interventions, events, or trends. Vision or goal: the higher order program or sector objectives to which an intervention is intended to achieve. Problem statement: the nature and extent of the problem that needs to be addressed by the initiative. Underlying assumptions and external factors refers to social, political, and economic factors and their influence on the potential successes of the program. To demonstrate how a program logic can represent an initiative, I'd like you to consider the purposes and processes involved in making your morning cup of coffee. What is your goal? That is, your expected outcome. to become more alert and awake. How do you achieve this? The initiative. Drink a stimulant, such as coffee. You should also consider, what are the ingredients, i.e., what are the inputs? What do you have to do to make the coffee? That is, what are the program outputs? To make a simple cup of instant coffee, you will need dehydrated coffee, a kettle with water, a power source, milk, and a mug to drink it from. These are your inputs. To make the coffee, you plug in the kettle, fill it with water and boil it. Then add the boiling water, dehydrated coffee, and milk to the mug. These are your outputs. You then drink the coffee, which you expect will make you feel more alert and awake. These are the expected results. Say, for example, the coffee did not taste great, or did not leave you feeling as alert as you had intended. You could make changes to the logic to improve the final outcome. Say that upon tasting, the coffee was too bitter to drink. You might add sugar. The coffee could be too weak. You might want to add more dehydrated coffee. Or you could decide that your coffee needs a different brew method altogether, or that a professional barista might be helpful. Now let's consider the assumptions implicit in this initiative. For example, we assume that the coffee will dissolve in the boiling water. We also assume that you will process caffeine in an expected manner. We also need to consider the external factors that may have unmeasured influence upon our program logic. For example, after drinking the coffee, you may feel more alert and awake, but this may not be attributable solely to our initiative. You may also have listened to some loud music, eaten some spicy food, or received some excellent news, all of which can contribute to feelings of alertness and wakefulness.